a great win it was Sunday. The resiliency that we played with defensively, I was so proud of those guys, and I was really proud of the fans too, because that place got loud. And then, I keep saying every week how much that helps us as a defense, and it surely did there in the fourth quarter against the Ravens. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, I mean, now that it had a little extra meaning to you, do you feel that at least afterwards?
I was glad to see everybody, you know what I mean, because the relationships we built over the last 10 years, and like I said, you can't deny you're competitive. You want to beat the last place you're at. And but it was how I explained it to you guys. I spoke from the heart, and I told you exactly how I felt going into it, and that's how I felt afterwards. It was great to see Lamar, not talk to him about football, but just to see how he's doing, and things like that. So it was a lot of fun, especially the way it turned out.
You had 10 men on the touchdown, second time that's happened. What's been the issue there?
Well, I think it's all part of building this thing. It's, communication to all of us, and, we're all responsible for it. And we just got to continue to work on our substitutions during the game. And sometimes they're bang situations. Guys got to be locked in and here.
What do you see from Trevor Lawrence? It seems like he's taken a little step from last year.
I think that it's a perfect marriage between he and Doug and Mike McCoy, the offensive or the coordinator, or not the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach. But Doug has always had a good quarterback, and they always play well, with his offense, and it's pretty cool to see just because how much I respect Doug and Trevor. He's first player taking the draft. He has talent.
You guys are underdogs in this game. I know you probably don't care about that. I'm just curious, how much do you sense that your unit views themselves in that role as an underdog, or do you not?
I've always considered myself an underdog. You'd have to ask them individually as players, and I like approaching life that way, because when you're the underdog, you always try to keep that edge to you going into any competition or anything like that. So I think that whoever sets a line sets a line. I don't know what's happened with it. I don't know.
I just meant more like big picture, like this season, because you guys, people didn't have great expectations for you on the outside.
Right.
Does your crew look at that in general?
No, we really don't. It's one of those things where, each week we're approaching it the same way. And I've told y'all before that, you empty your tank on Sundays. What Dave talks the whole team about, and we fill it up during the week, and they have done that, and we've tried to stay as consistent as we can be every day, and I think that's really helped us, because the competitive stamina that this group has, and resiliency, and the culture that Dave's and Joe have built, it's been a lot of fun to work here.
For a while, we went through a phase where rookie quarterbacks were coming into the league and sort of taking it by storm, and Lamar was one of them right away. Has that kind of abated a little bit, do you think? Trevor came in as one of the best prospects most people can remember, and struggled a bit.
Yeah, I think there's a multitude of things that go into a player struggling, and you can fill the blank spaces in there any way you want. But like I said, I really think it's a good marriage between he and Doug and that offense, and you can really see that he's playing with some confidence. And the first part of your question, I think there's a lot of really good young quarterbacks in this league, and the future is very exciting in the National Football League.
Wait, maybe I'm crazy, but before the season, I thought the Giants are going to blitz this much. We're probably going to force a lot of bad throws that get intercepted, and the flip side of it is they'll probably get beat over the top a couple of times in man coverage. Neither one of those things has happened. You guys got your first interception, and you haven't gotten beat deep. Why?
It goes, give credit to Jerome and Mike Trier and the secondary. They've really played well fundamentally, and used all the techniques that they work on together. And it's, like I said, Jerome, I can't say enough good things about Jerome. The blitzing part, we play each game different, and just that's where the stats are at right now. And I'm not going to call them unless I think they're going to hit. And a lot of times too, you can't look at just the different statistical categories, because each game you're trying to do something to make them play left-handed. We knew last week, for example, that it was going to come down to the fourth quarter, and you need to save some things for the fourth quarter, to win the game. And all the players were, right on board with it, and they knew the plan going into it, and they executed it.
When you play a younger quarterback like Trevor, with how much you enjoy blitzing, do you relish the opportunity to go up against a guy who hasn't seen too much of your stuff before, you just have the experience to fall back on?
I don't really look at it that way. I just, it's, Monday night is when we have our mayhem meetings. Me and Drew and Jerome and Kevin, and we study protections, and we just try to give them different looks that they haven't seen. Now, like I said before, Doug Peterson, he's gone against us plenty of times, so I'm sure he'll have a plan for it. We'll just see who can out execute who.
Where did that? Three more.
Dexter's played 90% of the snaps the last 3 games, I think, at least 90%. Is that a concern at all, or what's he showing you?
Well, I mean, he's in great shape right now. It does concern you for the 17-game schedule, so we're going to try to find spots to spot him some reps. But when he's playing as well as he is, it's so hard to. It's like if you had a Rolls Royce, wouldn't you want to drive it everywhere? I mean, it's just he's playing really well. So, and he wants to go back in. So we're gonna try to peel back on some of those reps if we can. It all depends, where we're at in the game.
You mentioned coming up with.
Oh,
sorry.
I was just gonna quickly follow up on that. What he's shown you the last 3 games, he's doing so well.
He's the player that we thought he would be. He's using his length. He's using his power. He's converting from the run game to pass rush. On play action pass. He's being the force that we thought he would be.
Like you mentioned, coming up with things that they haven't seen before. Where'd you come up with that? Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Where the 3 guys were stacked above the center. It was like a defensive I formation, like with Dexter, Lawrence, or Shane. The play.
Yeah, it looked like a bunch in the middle. Yeah. That's part of our Monday meeting. Because we look at their protections, each team differently, and we just knew that would give them a hard time sorting that out the way we did it, and our guys did a great job executing. Like that bunch formation you talked about in the middle. Yeah, so that's always fun when they get to do things like that.
Have you used that before somewhere?
I think I used it back at Western Illinois, 1999.
I'll get the tape.
And that was versus an option team.
What do you call it? You got a name?
Yeah, but I don't want anybody else to know it.